Hello Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for the Cuckoo's Fiancee, Chapter 72. When we last left our heroes, Nagi was shaken up by the announcement that Sachi has a boyfriend. He was then found by Hiro. The two of them went for karaoke, which was a fun little bit, until Hiro kind of pressed Nagi as to his actual feelings for Sachi, if she's in her own words, charming young girl, or your cute little sister. Again, Hiro's motivations with the Sachi thing just have never made a lick of sense. Not even in the way that Soichiro doesn't, where, like, we know there's missing pieces to Soichiro we don't have yet. But Hiro is just, I don't know why she's so invested in this. It makes absolutely zero sense. Either way, Nagi comes home, he thinks he overhears Sachi talking with Erika about her boyfriend getting kind of physical with her. It turns out she's talking about Erika's dogs and was lying about the whole thing. And that's kind of where we left off, with Sachi happy that Nagi was so flustered after all. Which, again, not a chapter I really liked, but whatever. Let's jump right on into Chapter 72. And we open with Erika just sort of lying in bed. And we see, like, the sun rays coming in. She picks up her phone. Darn, noon already? And then we see just kind of kneeling at Erika's bedside, just chilling. And she's just all perky. Good morning. Ai-chan, what? 70-second foul, what do you do for work? And our picture here is of Ai in this sort of, like, frilly dress she's got, doing the little heart thing with her hands. Suddenly, Ai-chan appears. She's not here to play games. Fair reminder that last chapter had the little blurb about an unexpected contest, I think was the direct word choice. Yeah, unexpected contest breaks out. So there might be some kind of game going on. Either way, we open on Erika in the shower. The shampoo was on the right. And we see Ai is just, like, in the bath behind her, which I think is kind of unsettling her, that, like, she's being watched while she's naked and all. She's, like, drying her hair, and Ai is sort of holding her hair out so she can dry it more easily. We cut to Erika brushing her teeth while Ai, like, holds out a mug. She's picking out an outfit for the day, and Ai adds, the blue one suits you better. And Erika's getting more and more unhappy with this situation. And we see Erika kind of stabbing into an egg yolk. And Ai responds, so you like to break your yolks, I see. And Erika at this point just finally snaps, alright, enough already! What the heck is going on here? And we see Sachi and Nagi are in the background like, good question. And then some explanation happens as Erika responds, you want to challenge me? And Ai nods, that's right. What's that supposed to mean? And she kind of looks back at Nagi, and he just kind of responds, I don't know. And Sachi chimes in, she just showed up this morning asking if you were home. And Ai kind of says, I'll get straight to the point. I will be marrying Nagi-chan. And Nagi just, since when? And Sachi's, first I've heard. And Erika just kind of cuts to the chase. This is also abrupt. I have no idea what you're talking about. And Ai continues, simply put, as Nagi-chan's childhood friend, the fact that he has a fiancé is inconvenient for me. And so, if I were to win, would you please release Nagi-chan to me? This is all I kind of talked about way back when I first showed up in 65 or 66, I think. Or 67, maybe? I think 67. How Ai has this very particular view of Nagi as, like, a possession. You know, she compares him to the bouncy ball she never won as a child. Very directly, using the same mind-beloved phrase. And we're kind of seeing that here, that the obstacle to Ai marrying Nagi is not Nagi himself, not Nagi's own romantic attachments, it's Erika, who he's engaged to. And I'm curious where Yoshikawa is building with that, because it's a recurring theme with Ai. But Nagi kind of tells her, so, Ai-chan, our engagement is something that our parents decided. Our own discretion is, well... But Erika just sighs, keeping in mind her growing realization of her feelings for Nagi. Alright then, I accept your challenge. And Nagi's kind of stunned there. What? Amino-san? You mean me? And Erika puts her hand, slams her hand down. No, this isn't about Nagi-kun. This is about you being too much of a clingy nuisance. You referring to I. For a second there, I thought that was kind of her calling back to her initial assumptions back in 69, I think. That Nagi was kind of responsible for Ai's feelings for him. But she continues, pointing right in Ai's face. If I win, you'll never set foot near this house again. And Ai just kind of nods, understood. And Nagi tries to cut in, wait, no, excuse me. You're just bored, aren't you? This has nothing to do with me. Erika just wants to fight. Good for her. Sure seems like it. I think it's Sachi's line. And then we cut to, some kind of bar or arcade or something. Probably an arcade, now that I say that out loud. A darts contest? Yep. And this is, so it's Ai's initial confusion. Erika's just, ready to go. I did some research online. This was the simplest and fastest way. Erika kind of looks back at her. It's not like we could have had a fist fight or something, after all. Indeed, it could result in an occupational impediment. Right, because there is that kind of implication, or that kind of implication she kind of makes towards the Uminos, as I recall, about her being in Japan for work. That she has some work-related reason to be here. Don't know what that is yet, and given our title line, I assume we'll learn something about it maybe this chapter? I don't know. Could result in an occupational impediment. And Erika's just sort of flustered at that response. Nagi and Sachi are off, eating popcorn and drinking soda in the background. And Nagi says, a darts contest, huh? And Sachi calls, have you done this before, Erika? Sure have. I just need to hit the red part in the middle, right? And Sachi responds, well, yes, but no. And I sort of comment, how interesting. And this could be a great opportunity for us to get acquainted with each other. And Erika kind of grins, exactly. Would you like to go first? Thank you. And she kind of gets ready to throw, it looks like. And Erika says, right, for starters, what do you do for work? And we see, the pose I gets in is called out by Nagi. Wait, this isn't baseball. And she's a southpaw too? But she throws the dart right into the bullseye. Not really answering our title question, though. Ignoring it, perhaps. Or not. She calls right back, I sing songs on the internet. Just sort of studying Nagi. Sachi and Nagi are looking eyes wide, jaw dropped. Sachi, I don't know how I should react to that. And Erika kind of looks at her. Oh, is that so? I'm on the internet too, but I post photos. So there's a thing, though, is that I could see if, she's bruised or something, it could kind of affect her, if she's, showing her face. It could affect the vibe she gives off, I guess. But I don't know why she'd have to be in Japan for that. I don't know. Anyway, I gets ready, second throw, and Erika looks at her. Let's see. Once summer vacation ends, will you be transferring to our school? And with that, I gets another bullseye. I will not. I was enrolled in college when I was 13. I've already graduated. Okay, that's an interesting thing. And Erika stands up. Is that even possible? It happens quite a bit overseas. I mean, not as often as I think you make it sound like I. And Nagi, while munching on some popcorn, says, come to think of it, I do remember hearing that she was invited to some incredible institution or something. And Sachi is really excited about this news. Maybe she'll help me study sometime. And then, I gets ready, third throw, and Erika gives a little wink. Alright, then, what is it about Nagi-kun that makes you want to marry him? And with that, she kind of stumbles. And in shock, she's blushing all of a sudden. And she hits way wide towards the outer ring of the dartboard. She missed! And I just kind of stands there. And sits down without an answer. If you would, please. Are you not going to answer? Erika kind of snaps. And I kind of explains it with, because I missed. And Erika kind of gets on her. What kind of rule is that? Well, whatever. Here I go. And she grips the dart. She, like, sort of is balancing her elbow, all, like, full focused. She's about to swing and a miss. We all know that. We can see that coming. But Nagi reacts. She's stabilizing her elbow. And Sachi, what an incredible aura. And Ai gets ready for her own questions. Well then, do you really intend to marry Nagi-chan? And she throws the dart and hits it straight for the carpet. Her posture is, her motion isn't great there. It's sort of a flick of the wrist, as opposed to Ai's, like, full-on pitcher's throw. Maybe the flick of the wrist is more standard in darts, I don't know. Either way, she misses. It's less the kind of blushing, stumbling we saw from Ai a couple of pages ago. But it is kind of a bit of a fluster, especially when she looks back at Ai. What? What's this all of a sudden? And Ai presses, so do you? And Erika waits for a second. Not at all. I'll be the one to decide who I marry. Though, of course, who she decides to marry could still be Nagi, especially with what she's been realizing lately. And I kind of questioningly, And Erika sort of looks at her and turns back. Then next, have you had sex with Nagi-chan? And that stuns her so much, she actually does hit the board this time. She hits on the board on, like, the far outer ring. And Ai presses, so you have. Have not. But I have seen his genitals. God. Oh, this is getting a little bit awkward. Ai responds, though, I've seen them too. But that was before his secondary sex characteristics developed. Oh, God. This is getting more than a little bit awkward. And Nagi, of course, is, like, head in hands. Please just stop already. And Sachi is uncomfortably jealous, as she often is. I'm not going to turn this into an anti-Sachi rant, but we hear people, like, listening into the conversation now. Did you hear that? They're talking about sex or something. Ai continues, well then, let's finish this. Is Nagi-chan someone you like, or is he someone you dislike? And this is a question that Erika is much more uncomfortable with. I think she's still at the point where she can say, I won't marry him. Both because her, as we kind of see in her attraction is not as far as I thought it was. And that's still a distant enough concept that she's still sort of, it doesn't feel real in the way her attraction to Nagi does. The sex thing, of course, obviously she has not had sex with him, so she doesn't really have to answer that. But this is right up with her current considerations. Is Nagi-chan someone you like, or is he someone you dislike? What? And she doesn't even throw, and turns back. What kind of question is that? And I just casually respond, the kind I want to know about. And Erika just counters that neither of the two. Then how about we put it this way? I think this is Ai. If this next dart hits, we'll say you do like him. Huh? Hits the bullseye though? That's a little bit out of Erika's capabilities. As Sachi kind of responds, she hasn't hit a single one yet. There's no way this one would hit. Which, yeah, it's sort of a, and that's sort of Erika's reaction there. Erika's reaction there sort of gets at this idea that she doesn't want to not say she likes him. And so, right, if that makes any sense, she doesn't want to say, she does not want the answer to be, you don't like Nagi, which is the implication. If it does not hit bullseye, you don't like him. And she's like, I don't want to go that far. Even if she's more than a little bit nervous to say that she actually likes him. Anyway, I think does she throw, though? We had this panel of her looking at the dartboard. Well, like, maybe she's thrown it, and she has this reaction. But Ai says, the result doesn't matter anymore. It's clear that my arch nemesis in this is Sachi-chan. When I saw that sort of ... I had a little beat of nervousness that it was going to be Sachi. And I hate being right sometimes. Fuck off. Fuck off! What the fuck are you talking about? And Nagi looks at, what? How? And Sachi counters, how should I know? And then Nagi looks, wait a minute. And we see that Erika has gotten the bullseye. The dart strikes true right in the middle. Next time, Nagi gets swamped. Okay, let's ignore that page 20. Let's completely ignore it. It's stupid. It's dumb. It's as bad as Nagi Sachi shipping has ever been. Just get rid of it. Get rid of that page. Tear it out. It's trash. The rest of the chapter is kind of fun though. Especially it kind of merges the I plot line. It sort of got like we haven't really seen her since her initial two-parter in 66 and 67. Which for a new character is kind of long to be without her. But it merges that with the bit in 69 of Erika slowly kind of realizing her feelings for Nagi, and also brings in that thing from 70 and 71 I don't want to talk about. But let's not talk about that. I'm not talking about that part at all. Just focus on these two. So yeah, all of that is sort of a neat way to sort of blend those two plot lines. And also I think that last panel I think is definitely meant to sort of throw some doubt on Ai's remark that the true nemesis is Sachi, which also just doesn't make any sense from Ai's perspective. When the fuck has she seen anything that would imply that? Like there's really no sign of that in any of Ai's scenes. Like where has she seen any moments in her entire 3 chapters in this manga to imply that Sachi is the real most likely candidate to win Nagi's heart? Like that's just dumb. It's dumb on every level. And I really, really, really hate it. Though again, ignoring that, it's a pretty fun chapter. We see sort of Ai's confidence. We do see, though, Ai is not quite unshakable, as being pressed about her feelings for Nagi sort of stumbles her. And we don't actually get an answer as to why she has feelings for Nagi. Beyond just their kind of childhood friend status. And then we have some awkward fun with Erika's turn, with her sort of, I kind of discussed her very particular. She sees Nagi as someone she might like, but definitely not as someone she could marry yet. That's a step too far. And then, the fun little sex aside, which is just uncomfortable for everyone involved, especially Nagi. And then, again, that last bit about if the next dart hits, we'll say you do like him, and then we see the next dart hits, which with all of Erika's development is pretty telling. I does not quite remark on it because she's too busy getting on the incest train, which oof. But then yeah, that's sort of how it all ends up. We don't know what exactly happens next. Nagi gets swamped is our only sort of hint for next time. No idea what that could be referring to. But yeah, that's sort of all I have to say for this chapter. It's fun. If you ignore one page, it's really fun. That one page is really, really bad and nonsensical. But beyond that, it's a lot of fun. So I'm going to leave this video off here. Hope you'll enjoy the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. Do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!